Hello again, and this is the second part of our Cloud Kiosk demo where we focus on the capabilities and features to support the administration capabilities for the Microsoft Cloud Solution Provider. The first thing that we provide for the administration is clearly a login panel, username, password, access. You'll notice there is a place for the Microsoft CSP's logo to confirm this is an administration for that CSP. And I'll just go ahead and type in our CSP1 admin, that's our login name for the purposes of this demo. And what happens is that the admin panel will open up into 4 different parts. Each part has specific functions around control and management of services for your customers. The first of which is the Accounts tab. The Accounts tab, an account is really any commercial use case for a service. Company, an organization, it could actually be an individual, but in general, in most cases, it's a business customer. And the reason we have those accounts that way is that sometimes you have different licenses within an existing account. So you may have different end users within an account and need to manage all of those. So all of this administration enables you to do that. This panel just shows you basic information about a given account. How many subscriptions have they ordered? How many have they perhaps shared with other organizations? Canceled? How many are sort of ready to go or maybe queued up for them? And how many have been activated? Also a status number, or a status display, as well as what is their billing account number. And of course the CSP may be able to plug in their own information into their account system here. At the end of the bar you will see a little eyeball icon that I can click, and that will open all the information about that particular account. You'll notice on the left side here we do have a menu tree that gives you access to a lot of the very straightforward information about that account. Workloads, just for clarity, a workload essentially is any flow of services or infrastructure that is in process of being consumed by a customer. It is a workload. Our administration tracks and manages all workloads, whether they're Office subscriptions, whether they're Windows Azure instances. We just manage and track it all using this terminology. So let's go back to the main panel, and I'll jump over now to end users. And end users, you'll see, is very much the same kind of rundown of data respective to each and every user in the system. And a user really is an individual tied with an email address and a login credential for the service. And I have the same view buttons over here on the right side where I can dig in deep to any of my accounts and basically do any of the account self-servicing. And this is a really important point. In here, I can actually get behind the scenes, so to speak, with my business customers and make changes for them and update their information for them if that's something that I want to offer to my customers. Cloud Kiosk enables those customers to make those changes themselves. You noticed on the front end of the demo that they could get in and modify their account information. Well, you can do it as well as a CSP on the back end. And we also have the same kinds of information here. We have included things like product reviews and product tags so that you can see what end users have tagged what services and are excited about what kinds of products. And also end users have the ability to create reviews of services. Hey, I thought this SKU was great for my organization and I have 5 people working for me, kind of thing. So it has a little bit of sort of the social networking aspects around purchasing experiences that we think could be very useful for CSPs to have for their own BI and own intelligence. The third tab that we have in the administration panel is the catalog tab. And this is the one that kind of opens up the capabilities of the CSP to custom tailor their cloud kiosk for their needs. As a Microsoft CSP brokers more services for their kiosk from Computenext, those services are listed down in this long list of products. We treat every service, every subscription, every infrastructure, every virtual machine as a product in the catalog so that there is a uniform, normalized experience with displaying the information, pricing, discounting, purchases, and fulfillment of the orders. But this is the panel where a CSP could simply elect on any given day of any given month, they could make they could run a promotion, a discount, they could sort of bring in new products, they could shut off old products. They can really get in and manage their entire account as they need be. You'll notice also in the upper right there is an Add Product button. That enables me to add a new product into my catalog. And this is a great capability for companies that may want to create professional services or create value-add services that really is unique to their organization and their audience. We as Computenext have no idea what some of these things could be, and we don't want to cut off the CSP from those creative capabilities. So we give them the means to create attributes and product type categories for a given service that they may want to add. If you click the continue button, once you can set attributes and product types, and then you can go ahead and give your product a name. Let's say we call this a professional service premium support, for example. Let's say I want to put a price tag on. I'll call the SKU, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the weight is 0. That's kind of irrelevant, but at the end of the day, let's go over to prices and let's give it a price. Let's say I want to charge $250 an hour for professional services. But let's say this week I want to apply a discount and offer it for $150 per hour starting today, which is January 20th. And let's say I want to run that through the end of the month. Now I've just set up an automatic way for my catalog to reflect a discount of premium support services. And that took me about 10 seconds. And I didn't have to reconfigure anything, and if I save and continue it, can be reflected out in the catalog, and I can go on to my next task, the next order of business. So in this manner, Cloud Kiosk really gives you the ultimate catalog management tool, as well as adding products and services and having everything documented and tracked. And of course, last but not least is the Sales, Invoicing, and Orders tab. This is probably one of the most important aspects of Cloud Kiosk, which is the ability to enable automatic invoicing. Now this might get a little confusing for some sellers of Microsoft services because traditionally you use the Microsoft Partner Center to get a lot of that sales intelligence and usage reporting. But traditionally, a Microsoft reseller or a CSP would need to take that data and create their own invoices from that data. That's a whole nother middle step. What we've done is we've given the means of reconciling service usage from our kiosk to the Microsoft Partner Center. So the Microsoft CSP has complete visibility and validation that the services they are billing for are the same amount of services that they have consumed from Microsoft. They can match those two engines, if you will, through this invoice panel. And our invoice panel gives them that validation, because our service brings that Microsoft CSV file into the system and does the automatic validation for the CSP. The second thing that our system does is we actually use retail pricing on our invoices, which is critical. You can't send out an invoice to a customer that has costs. It has to show pricing. And the CSP needs the ability to find out what their margins have been and what their earnings have been based on the total consumption per account. So the Cloud Kiosk automatic invoicing tool enables a lot of these processes, again, saving the time for the CSP, giving them more time back to do value-added selling and going deeper with accounts. A couple of customization aspects we've added here to the service. The first one in the bottom left, you'll notice it says interface locale. This is essentially our language picker switcher tool, where I can go in and I can essentially pick any language to be reflected in the administration panel. I went ahead and I selected German, and now you'll notice that all of the terms, most of them, have switched over to German. There's some terms that are just going to use the generic text because those are, in this case, the name of an account. But all of the standard formatted and frameworked text areas are all converted. You'll notice these are all converted to German, the login information, all of that. Let's go back to English real quick so I can actually read it. Unfortunately, I can't read German. I'm working on it, but you know, you can only get so far in there. And then on the bottom right, you'll notice, gives you a little sense of how this can be customized for a CSP. Under Current Theme is a pull-down menu in which I can simply click and I can select any of the themes that have been done for Kiosk up to this point. This is the theme that we have done for one of our clients of our platform called Zones, which is an IT reseller organization out of Washington State. And Zones uses a blue color bar at the top with their logo and has this kind of a look and feel. Whereas if I want to pick something else, let's pick the CSP one, which is the one I was just showing you. Notice the colors immediately change. These are very minor changes, but they just give you a sense of how this whole thing can be skinned specifically for a client need. So that about takes care of the functionalities of our administration panel. I'd like to show you some contact information for our global sales offices. Myself, Dan, here in the United States, based in Redmond, Washington. Marco, based in Europe. We have Pedro down in Brazil. And we also have Bhavesh over in India. So there is a local office near you in your time zone. We'd be more than happy to provide demos, presentations, or go into a deeper level discussion of how Kiosk can be custom tailored for your needs. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much.